Tēnā koe, ko Naya tōku ingoa, he uri ahau no ngā tikahunga nui. Kia ora, my name is Naya. I'm a clinical psychologist that's worked both in Australia and Aotearoa, New Zealand. A little about me as a person: I was born in Belgium. I lived there till I was 3 years old. That's where my father's from. On my mother's side, I'm Māori, so I've lived in Aotearoa most of my life. I've also spent some time in Melbourne, where my partner's from. I identify really strongly with my Māori cultural identity, and I really enjoy spending time outside in nature, whether that's in the mara, the garden, or going on walks, hikoi with my dog and whānau. I completed my doctorate in clinical psychology at Waipapa Taumataro, the University of Auckland. In my work, I support adults and young people who are experiencing a variety of challenges. So it might be things like low mood, anxiety, grief, the experiences of trauma, whether that be intergenerational trauma or trauma that they might have experienced through witnessing or being involved in an incident. And then often it might be trying to help individuals who are considering different diagnoses or navigating experiences of those diagnoses they've received and how to actually manage in their life going forward. I also have a real interest in supporting people with emotion regulation. So if they're struggling to manage their emotions, if they're feeling like their emotions are way too intense for them, or they're feeling a bit unsteady in their life. So that's a real passion of mine. So if that's something that you're struggling with, feel free to reach out to me. In terms of my therapy style, I'd consider it relational, transparent, and collaborative. So for me, it's really, really important that you're involved in your therapy journey from start to finish. That includes being involved about all of the choices that you have that you can make in therapy, including choosing the pathway of therapy, because there's many different therapy approaches. And also I'm really interested in hearing about you and your identity, what makes you you, whether it's the role you have in your whānau, whether it's your cultural identity, whether it's some real key experiences that you've been through in your life, or whether it's just particular things that keep you well, your strengths, and using those to draw on. I also really support LGBTQIA plus individuals and want to provide an affirming service in that way, and as well as that, I really have passion about working with people with neurodiversity. One of the strengths that I think I can bring is being able to support utilising cultural models of health. So particularly for Māori, there's many beautiful resources available to support you to navigate any challenges with your identity if you have experienced the impacts of colonisation and they're affecting you, or if you haven't grown up having a very strong access to Māori culture but you'd really love to learn more. It's a particular area of interest of mine to be able to support you in tautoko. I really love tailoring therapy styles to suit client needs as well. So if you really value using a whiteboarding session, I'd love to do that. If you really value preferring to speak verbally over written exercises, that's absolutely something I can support. I use a lot of metaphors in the work that I do as well to try and give you things that you can take away and remember. In terms of the therapy approaches I use, I draw on evidence-based therapy approaches, whether that is Indigenous knowledge systems or Western knowledge systems. So in terms of therapy, I might use cognitive behavioural therapy, acceptance and commitment therapy, dialectical behavioural therapy principles, and schema therapy. Those are some of the main ones that I use. And then if someone has a particular mental health diagnosis, such as OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, then we might use the relevant therapy for that, which is exposure and response prevention. So if you had any questions about particular diagnoses to see if I would be the kind of fit, please send a message to our team and then they can let you know if I can work with you. If you're looking for support with managing emotions, building practical skills, connecting with your cultural identity, I might be the fit for you. And also if you're exploring any diagnoses at this time, or you've received a diagnosis and you're wanting to make sense of it in a strengths-based way. So I welcome you to have a session with me, reach out to us, see if our schedules align, and I look forward to meeting you. Nō reira, tēnā koe.